Do you know that the humble, spiny mesquite tree is the center of life in the Sonoran Desert? This tree, often known only for use of its wood in barbecue cooking, actually supports massive webs of insect, animal, and human life throughout the deserts of Mexico and the United States, and it has done so for thousands of years. This velvet mesquite tree is a beloved plant here in Tucson and all throughout the Southwest. It has evolved to live in these hot, drought-prone places through several ingenious adaptations. These trees have taproots that extend far deeper into the earth than their above-ground height would suggest. Some have even been recorded at 175 feet deep. This taproot allows the velvet mesquite to reach water far down in the water table, so during drought, the trees can continue to thrive. Another unusual adaptation of this plant is its ability to grow new stems and roots even when temperatures are blazing. The velvet mesquite can continue to grow rapidly even when nighttime temperatures do not go below 80 degrees, which is now typical in Tucson and Phoenix, Arizona. This adaptation is highly unusual as most plants become highly stressed without cool nighttime temperatures and cannot produce new growth. The velvet in velvet mesquite refers to the soft, tiny hairs which cover the stems, leaves, and fruits of this tree. This tree's flowers are small and greenish yellow, arranged in showy, drooping inflorescences. These flowers are a part of the velvet mesquite's function as a centerpiece of the desert. This tree produces more nectar from its many flowers than almost any other plant in its ecosystem, and this nectar supports dozens of species of bees, moths, and butterflies. There are 4 species of beetle that this tree supports, and 2 of those species only eat velvet mesquite pods. In the Acamel or Odam language, these beetles are called mesquite pod babies because they lay their eggs in fallen mesquite pods and emerge from the pods when they are grown. The seed pods of this tree are also a central food source for deer, javelina, coyotes, jackrabbits, and wild turkeys, among others. The Sonoran Desert is also known for its diversity of bird species, and a great deal of them love to nest in the velvet mesquite and feed on the many insects attracted to the tree. This tree, like other legumes, also fixes nitrogen in the soil. Nitrogen is an essential element for plants to grow their leafy foliage, but sometimes it can be hard to come by. The nitrogen in the atmosphere is not in a form that plants can use, so they have to find it in the soil. The velvet mesquite, along with other legumes, can take nitrogen out of the atmosphere, and using nodules in its roots, it fixes that nitrogen into the ground, essentially fertilizing itself and all the plants around it. This tree feeds everybody, from animals to insects to other plants. Speaking of feeding everybody, the pods of this tree are also a long-cherished food source for desert peoples. Mesquite pods are highly nutritious, sweet, and have a low glycemic index, making them a healthy and dependable major food source. They are most often ground into flour, which can then be used to make pancakes, porridge, drinks, teas, sweeteners, and other options. The pods are nutritionally impressive, being rich in protein, carbohydrates, and fiber. The ripe, raw pods can even be nibbled on as a high-carb snack. This flower is growing in popularity around Tucson and the desert Southwest, and several organizations offer mesquite harvesting and flour milling services. One such group is Desert Harvesters, who even have a cookbook named Eat Mesquite and More, where you can learn how to prepare delicious meals from this tree. The Peepash and the Odam peoples of the Sonoran Desert have depended on mesquite for centuries as a central food source. Before them, around 1900 years ago, the Hohokam and Mogollon peoples also depended on mesquites, and their ancient mesquite pod grinding sites and preserved mesquite seed piles are still scattered all across the American Southwest. The several species of mesquite native to the Sonoran, Chihuahuan, and Mojave deserts were found to have been the single most important food sources for indigenous peoples living there, and it was estimated that in the 1800s, the Akimel O'odham and Peepash communities near Phoenix gathered millions of pounds of mesquite pods every year. So, while mesquite flour is currently gaining larger popularity as a new and interesting health food, People such as the Pipash and Tohono and Akimel O'odham have been eating mesquite continuously for hundreds of years, and this practice continues today.